Alright YouTubes, how are you all doing? I hope you're well. Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is just going to be a little painting video. Just got a bonnet to paint, so I'll give you a quick look. It's a bonnet off of a motorhome. I'm not sure what the motorhome is. It might be a Fiat. I think it is a Fiat. So it came in, had some stickers on it, and I think the guy tried wrapping it. Didn't have much success wrapping it in a matte black vinyl wrap, and then when he tried to pull it off, it pulled loads of paint off of it, and then he attempted to paint it himself and put filler in it, and yeah, it all got a bit messy for him. Poor bloke. He was doing it while he was away in it as well on holiday, so I don't think the wife was very happy with him neither. But yeah, made a bit of a pig's ear of it. So he's brought it to us. He wants it in matte black. I think the motorhome's white, but he wants the bonnet in matte black. Well, satin black we've decided on, sort of not satin, I'd say it's in between. I give him sort of a choice of 5 levels of gloss, and he sort of picked the middle one. So it's not a complete matte, and it's not satin neither. Sort of in between, I suppose. I suppose you'd say you'd have matte and semi-gloss, so satin's probably in between. So yeah, I'm confusing you and myself now. So anyway, he's having it a satin-ish black. So what we've done is we've just paint stripped it all, stripped the whole lot off of it. There's quite a few layers of paint on there. It's just easier to do that than to try and sand it all through and all that. So I'm going to try and do this as a wet on wet. So yeah, I was just going to use wet on wet, like Mipa F37. It says it can go direct to metal, and it's okay with that, but I'm never quite happy with that. I wanted epoxy on there, so I'm going to use Mipa EP Surfacer, it's called. So it's an epoxy wet on wet. The downside, they only do it in a light grey, and this is going to be black, so I would like to put a darker one on there. So it's going to be done in Mipa epoxy. So yeah, this has just been finished off, by the way. So once we've got all the little bits of paint that were left over from the paint stripping, it's been finished off in 240 grit, this has, and that'll be fine for that. So it's going to be, yeah, like I say, it's Mipa EP Surfacer is going to be the wet and wet I'm going to use on it, and that's going to be 1 coat of that. And then I'm going to use Mipa Waterbase Super Black for the black, and then for the clear coat, it's not going to be Mipa, it's going to be a Debeer one that I've got. I've had it a little while. It's like a matte system that Debeer have got. It's really good. I've done a few bits and bobs with it over my time, and it's really good clear. One of the best mattes I've used. So you get two tinters basically. You get two different clears. You get a low gloss and a semi gloss, and then a mixing combination of the both will give you the gloss levels. So you get 5 different gloss levels. Probably won't be able to see it on the camera, but if I can show you them, you get a little colour swatch. So for like your frozen colours, you know, BMW do frozen colours. They have different sheens as well as obviously the colours. So yeah, that's sort of, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. You can see the different gloss levels, and then when you look on the back, it will give you the mixing ratios, so how much of each clear to achieve that finish. So that's what's going to be going on it. So we're using M3, it's called. So gloss level M3, which is sort of the middle one really. There's 5 gloss levels. So we're going for the middle one. So yeah, that'd be it. So I'm going to give it a coat of that wet and wet. That takes quite a while to dry. So it needs about half an hour. And then yeah, so it'll be 1 coat of that. Coat of Mipa Waterbase, and then the Debeer matte clear going on there. So the wet and wet go on with my 1500B. Basecoat will go on with my usual X5500 with 1.2i, and then the clear coat I'm going to put on with my CC gun. So yeah, I'll I'm going to get the epoxy mixed up, get that degreased and blown off and tacked off, and we'll get some paint on it. So that's one coat on there. It's sort of 2.5 coats, the that Debeer matte clear. So you put like sort of semi-wet coat on, and then sort of 2, I suppose they're not full wet coats. The trouble is with it, the way you apply it affects the gloss. So if you put, the heavier it is, the more sort of gloss it will have to it. And you're sort of supposed to cross hatch it as well, which I'll do on the next couple of coats. Just, the key really is just to get a nice even film build over all of it. But another downside to it, you've got to let it flash right through each coat. So it's a good 15 minutes between coats, so it's quite a long-winded process. But I'll just sit here and have a look at YouTube, I think. Right then YouTubes, that's the bonnet for the motorhome all finished, so I'll give you a quick look. It's come out okay. It's got a little bit of a sheen to it. Sort of in between matte and semi-gloss, so yeah, I'd say that's a satin sheen. And yeah, it's just about clean enough. It's as you probably know, you can't do anything with it. Whatever lands in it is you either got to live with it or you've got to re-clear coat it again. But there is a couple of nibs in this, but I don't think the guy's overly fussy with it. So yeah, it's good enough. But yes, it can be a real struggle with these matte finishes to get them perfectly clean. You know, my boot's quite clean, but you know, we all get nibs. You try whatever you can do to eliminate getting nibs, but it's out of your control sometimes. If they're going to land in there, they land in there, which is a pain really. But yeah, I try to get my jobs as clean as possible, like most people would. But if it lands in there, it lands in there. There's not a lot you can do about it. But like I say, there's a couple of nibs in this. There's a little one here. I did see another one somewhere. There's a little one on the front here. But yeah, guy's gonna have to live with it. So yeah, that's it really. Don't really do a lot of matte or satin finishes, but I do enjoy doing them because there's something a bit different. Like with this clear coat, you do have to be a little bit careful. It'll take quite a while. It's sort of 2.5 coats. It's like a half coat and then two full coats. But you've got to really allow the drying time between coats and stick to it really, because it will affect the finish a little bit. So it's like 15 minutes between coats on this, so it can be quite a long process painting these matte finishes and satin finishes. But yeah, I enjoyed it, and something a little bit different, and not too bad for, you know, from bare metal to finished paint, without you know, sanding in between. I'm quite happy with the results on it. So yeah, that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, thanks for watching, really appreciate it, and we'll see you again in the next one. Look after yourselves. Cheers.